Yes. Okay, here we go. It seems to be working. And I think people are getting notified of my streams. Cool. I'm gonna wait 1 minute, guys, just for people to join the stream. I just want to see if it's notifying people. It looks like it actually is notifying people. I've had problems in the past where I go to stream on YouTube and it doesn't notify people for some reason. What's up, Isaac? What's up, Quack the Gaming Boy? What's up? Tiger Gaming, Petabyte Million, Slow Flow. What's up, dude? So today, we're going to be taking a live look at Windows 2.0. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing glasses, even though I have perfect vision, it's because these are blue light reducing glasses. It's supposed to help you sleep. For those of you who don't know, blue light can affect your sleep schedule and fool your body into thinking it's day. So I'm wearing these glasses in hopes I get better sleep. And no, I'm sorry, I'm not making a channel with anyone. Any Fire Bucket, anyone watch The Flash to show I watch it for the metas? No. Anyways, so let's get into the video. Eye surgery, Fire Bucket. What is it, like laser eye surgery? Zup Zigs Tech? Let's get right into the... Can I try to sleep? I don't know. Hang on 1 second, guys. No, I've never heard of Go Animate, Quack the Gaming Boy. To fix a lazy eye. Ah, gotcha. Anyways, guys, I'm running Windows 2.0 here in VirtualBox. I'm pretty sure you can run it in VMware, but to get it for VirtualBox, it was really easy. I just Googled something along the lines of download Windows 2.0, and it brought me to a YouTube video, which brought me to a MediaFire link, which allowed me to download a VirtualBox image. A VirtualBox disk of Windows 2.0, so it was extremely easy to set up because all I did was I opened that disk file after creating a new operating system by going to New and selecting Windows 3.1. After that, I let me choose which disk I wanted to use, and long story short, now I have Windows 2.0, if that makes any sense. I couldn't find an easy download or an easy way to do it in VMware, or at least as easy as it was in VirtualBox, because otherwise I'd have to actually install the operating system instead of it being already installed. So yeah, if that made much sense. Long story short, now I have Windows 2.0 running here in VirtualBox. So I actually did give this a little try before, but we're going to be looking at it again together live. The reason I chose Windows 2.0 is because this is one of the only consumer released operating systems, I guess, that one of the only Windows operating systems I've never really taken a look at on this channel. So let's go ahead and start up the operating system in VirtualBox. And so it's going to go to scale mode. I can't talk tonight. I usually use VMware. Today I'm using VirtualBox, so. And as you guys can see, it's scaled up to full screen. Or almost full screen. This is about as full screen as I can get unless I'm missing a button. And so it says MS-DOS Executive, but this is it. This is Windows 2.0, released in December of 1987. So it's almost 30 years old. It's probably older than a lot of you guys here, and it's older than me. So I'm wearing glasses because these are blue light filter glasses, and I have the program Flux on this computer, but I'm pretty sure if I have it on during the live stream, it means you guys are going to see sort of an orange tinted screen, and I don't want you guys to see an orange tinted screen. I want everything, all the colors to look as accurate as possible, so I turned off flux. And so, where are you going, Isaac? So I'm wearing these glasses instead of using flux. So I bought these off of Amazon. I don't know if these even work that well. This still looks pretty much like the exact same. Well, it's a little bit orange tinted, I guess. Can I subscribe to your channel, Quack the Game Boy? Tell you what, I'll look at your channel and we'll see. 'Cause I don't have glasses, Petabyte. No, well, technically I do, but these are blue light filter glasses. My vision is perfect. I don't really need, like, vision correction glasses. This is just blue light filtering glasses. But if you ever watched Theo Joe, he was wearing, like, these yellow or orange glasses. These are actually normal colored, but it still works, but it's not as effective. Anyways, Windows 2.0, aka what it says up here, MS-DOS Executive. So this is it. And when I booted up Windows 2.0 for the first time, I was like, oh, really? Is this it? Are these all the files in Windows 2.0? No, they aren't. These are just your main applications in Windows 2.0. There's actually a lot more files in this. If you want to change your directory or go up a folder in Windows 2.0, you have to actually click Special, then Change Directory. And then if I want to go to the root folder, I delete everything here, click OK. Hang on, I didn't do that right. I hit Enter and it didn't work. Click OK, and voila, here's the root directory. And I have a MacBook Air 2012 13-inch, by the way. So this is the root directory. And there's 3 different drives. A is usually the floppy disk drive. Not that anyone has those anymore, but they were really commonplace in 1987. Don't know what drive D is. Maybe it's a disk drive. And then drive C, of course, is just your regular hard drive. And I'm good, Ziggs Tech, thanks for asking. And I already did a stream with people on Discord, Petabyte Million, but I did it on the gaming channel. So let's go into the Win fold. Whoa. What is all this? This is a lot of files. Let's see. Paint. Oh, it has notepad in here and paint. So let's go back up a directory again. We're actually going to go into the Windows directory. And this is just a quick links to basically all the useful programs on your computer. Now because you know this thing is 30 years old, it's really primitive compared to now, obviously. And I need to stop saying I've said this a billion times during my live streams. Oh no. Anyways, so here's some programs. I don't know why there's an abc.txt text file, but whatever. Now let me show you guys something really, really quick. Hella, I'm just trying to close this. You can also click Alt F4. So this is the writing program. This is like, I'm pretty sure this came before, what's it called? WordPad? And yeah, you do have to pay to get VMware, but I got it for free through my college. And so if I wrote this is a test, it's a, it's a word processor. I don't know if you can actually do any, let's say, formatting to any of the letters though. Okay, I can. So bold. And what else can I do? Underline, superscript. Cool. Reduce and large font. Or, heck, I could see what fonts came on here. Oh, wow, it came with 3. Courier, Helvetica, I'm guessing, and Times New Roman. Or here they just call it Times Roman. Is there a difference between Times Roman and Times New Roman? Is that two totally different things? I don't know. But anyways, let's go ahead and save this somewhere. I'm going to save this as test. Oh, and this is interesting. Make a backup, and it looks like you can run Microsoft Word on here. Well, alright, so let's... Oh, and it looks like, true to the Windows name, you can actually drag around Windows in Windows 2.0. Who would have thought, eh? And if you minimize it, it minimizes onto the computer's desktop. So this is what your desktop looks like on Windows 2.0. So that's actually pretty neat. And you can drag around the icons like you can on the modern day desktop. So, but it doesn't look like you stored files on here like you do on the modern day desktop. It looks like you just minimize stuff to there. So let's just close that, and I do not see the document that I just saved, but that's alright. Unless I have to somehow refresh the directory. Whoops. But, well, I have a better idea. Let's open up Write, and then go to Open. Yeah, I probably just had to refresh the directory. There we go. So, yeah, Windows 3.1 came out in 1992, so it's like 25 years old now. Let's change the directory back to the root directory and just go back into the folder and see if it shows up. And it did. Yes, I was correct. Yeah, 1992. I wasn't even born yet in 1992. To be honest, though, I almost wish I was born earlier just so I could have seen this technology matured. Here's your basic calculator, and it looks seriously like just a, whoops, like a basic calculator. And Alt-Tab still works in this version of Windows. So, let's see, if I did 9 plus, oh, I did 9 times 9, so 81. Cool. What is this button? Is that a minimize? Yeah, that's a minimize. Let's close that. Yeah, you're right, Quack the Gaming Boy. I was born in 1994, but yeah, 10 virtual machines. That's pretty cool. The Bingo Dog channel. Bingo, what's up, Extreme Panda? I haven't talked to you in forever. So let's take a look at some other stuff. Like here's your calendar. Can you make actual appointments in here? Oh, cool, you can. You can, I guess, make appointments. So, if I made an appointment for Monday at 10, or, let's see, let's go up to 7, wake up. Alright, cool. And it looks like you can send an alarm. So, can I just drag and drop? No, if I want to send an alarm, I guess I have to do this. Oh, cool. More advanced than I thought. Not like in the 80s, though, you probably did not exactly have a computer next to your bed to wake you up, though. That would be insane. Let's exit out of the calendar, and let's just discard the current changes. So control, I'm guessing, is your control panel. And look at this. Look how less options there are. So you can change the time, the date, and I'm impressed it got the date right. Well, I mean, though, I guess the technology beyond that, I don't know if it's changed since the 80s, but cursor blank, double click right, and I can add a new printer, a new font, about control panel, copyright 1987, and now I don't have a disk for Windows 95. Yeah, Extreme Panda, I do miss Timeless. We should do something with Timeless again, that Minecraft server, and that chat. And so you can also change your screen color. So, hue, Let's just change the Windows background. Now it doesn't look like you can insert a picture for your... Oh wait, no, that's window background. Let's go to screen background. Doesn't look like you can exactly add a picture, but I at least can change it to magenta. Oh, cool. But I'm going to set it back to the default. Yeah, it is a very primitive control panel. I wonder... border width. Oh wow, that's actually really cool, the border width controls. Can you... I don't think you can do anything like that in Windows 10, right? Warning, beep. Mouse. Acceleration, oh cool. And you can swap the left and right mouse. Yeah, thanks. These glasses were just $10 or $12 on Amazon, to be honest with you. I don't even use them for vision. I use them as a blue light filter. So you can change number formats, the time formats if you want your 24-hour clock. And you have several countries to choose from, like USA, Japan, Netherlands, Spain, other country. It's Italy, United Kingdom. Cool. Well, I'm in the United States, so let's just leave it on there. And click OK. And that's cool. Set up a communications port. Oh, I guess it wasn't as plug and play as modern versions of Windows. But let's exit out of the control panel. VirtualBox is not necessarily better. I like VMware because I just feel like it's more feature-filled than VirtualBox, and in my opinion, easier to use, but VirtualBox I do like. So let's exit out of this ancient control panel. And that's a font. What's CVT Paint? So I guess I can convert files for what, though? I don't understand, but... yeah, Windows 10 Flat isn't really like Windows 3.1. I mean, look at the resolution of this. It really doesn't. The theming is pretty much different. And so, oh, it looks like someone created a to-do list. What do I think of Alienware? I think they're overpriced for what you get, but if you don't want to actually build a PC, Alienware build quality... I think is alright compared to a lot of other pre-built PCs, pre-built gaming PCs. Personally, I never buy one because you can build one for cheaper, but if you don't want to build a PC, Alienwares aren't really that bad to buy. And their gaming laptops are pretty decent, actually. Never used one, never owned one, but from what I can tell, Alienwares, they're overpriced, but they're not bad, for the most part. MS-DOS EXE. Oh, that just launched MS-DOS Executive again? Because to me, MS-DOS is like the command line. Or the operating system, I guess. Yeah, I can build a PC too. i9 600. And so, Notepad. I don't really understand why they needed Notepad if the write.exe program was already fairly lightweight compared to like Microsoft Word. But, you know, Notepad is nice and simple and really hasn't changed that much since Windows 2.0. Now, Paint. Here we go. Paint, what they're killing out of Windows 10, except not really. Paint is still going to be around. And that was such clickbait articles that said Microsoft was discontinuing Paint. Microsoft was deprecating Paint in Windows 10, which all that meant was Microsoft isn't developing Paint anymore. That doesn't mean Microsoft is killing Paint. That means they aren't actively developing Paint. And that's not even true. Microsoft is actively developing a Paint program. It's just a different program called Paint 3D. So those articles were such clickbait articles, those stories that came out about Paint being deprecated. And yeah, Paint's going to be available in the Windows Store, so that'll be nice, but probably won't be bundled with Windows 10. I'm betting starting with the Fall Creators update. But either way, Paint came in Windows 2.0, so let me draw my real name here, Casey. And now let's erase it. Or what else can I draw? Can I at least... Black. Wow, nice. Can I at least change the color of the stuff that I'm painting? I mean, I'm sure you can. Palette, maybe? Patterns, tools, brush shapes. Yeah, I'm sure you can change the color, but I don't see it at the moment. I thought it would have been this rectangle thing up here, but let's just exit out of Paint. There's my masterpiece. A little white dot in the center and black. And no, I'd rather use VMware for the majority of my operating systems that I showcase on this channel. i7, 16 gigs of RAM, 8 gigabytes, 1070 graphics card. Those are pretty good specs, Quack, the gaming boy. That should be good for most of anything you'd want to do on a PC usually, unless you're trying to render like the sequel to James Cameron's Avatar in real time or something like that. Then what is pifedit.exe? Program Information Editor. Okay, that's cool. Is there equivalent to Windows XP, ZigTech? I'd say it depends what you mean by equivalent, like equivalent specs or equivalent user interface. What do you mean by equivalent? Pentium G2020. Pentiums they aren't that bad, especially the modern day Pentiums. Pentium 4s weren't that bad, but they weren't the best processors in the world. Oh, this is a guy that I downloaded Windows 2.0, by the way. Random is personified. You can go check out his channel if you want. Now, spooler.exe, I'm assuming that's for the printers. And yeah. Now, terminal.exe. So, what's terminal.exe in DOS? I mean, excuse me, Windows 2.0 anyways. How would Windows 2.0 stand up to other Windows operating systems? It depends on which one you compare them to. I think if you compare them to Windows 1.0 and Windows 3.0, I don't think it's... they're basically not usable anymore, but thanks. What's up, Jake? It's more similar. It wasn't until Windows 95 really that Microsoft put Windows on the map for the majority of users, because of the user interface in Windows 95 was simply better than most other user interfaces at the time, and still is heavily present in modern day Windows. Now, telnet into something, yeah, I don't know anything to telnet into. I don't even know if this virtual machine has internet access, to be honest. So now that I showed you guys the basics of Windows 2.0, I believe that's most of everything. Let's go back up. Unless there's something interesting in here. Oh yeah, the clipboard. I like the clipboard application because it actually shows you what's on your clipboard when you do a copy. That's not present in modern versions of Windows, although you can download the clipboard application off the internet. And you'd upgrade to Windows 10 from Windows 2.0. If you can get that running, that would be so cool. But that would probably be extremely hard. So now, okay, so now that I'm done showing you guys the basic functions of Windows 2.0, let me show you guys how easy it is to mess up Windows 2.0. So back in Windows 2.0, Windows did not prevent you from deleting system files. File permissions weren't a thing, I believe. So this looks important, doesn't it? Kernel.exe. The question is, what happens if you delete kernel.exe? Hit let's, can I just delete it? It's not letting me delete it. Hang on. Okay, what if I hit delete from the file menu up here? Let's delete the kernel. Voila. Okay. Now let's go back to... I don't think it's really going to complain until I restart the computer. But I just deleted the kernel, so it probably won't even boot up anymore. And System32 I don't believe existed in this version of Windows, but I have deleted System32 on a Windows 10 virtual machine before, and yeah, it's not a pretty sight when you go to restart and boot up your computer, because it's totally screwed. So, yeah. Let's delete, what else looks important? msdos.exe. Let's delete that. Bam. Let's delete. Too bad you can't select everything in here. But, that should be good enough, don't you guys think? Well, no, that's not good enough. I want to delete, what's another good one I can delete? .sys. Let's delete a .sys file. Oh, whoops. Let's delete this. And let's close this. Now, I'm pretty sure you could get... I thought I closed that. Pretty sure you can get malware in here somehow, but I don't... yeah. Let's delete user.exe. I'm using VirtualBox and not VMware because I found a downloadable hard disk file of Windows 2.0, which means I didn't have to go through the 25 or so, or like 20 floppies it would take to install Windows 2.0 in a virtual machine, so I'm just using DOSBox because it's easier for me. So let's go ahead and restart, shall we? How do you even restart MS-DOS? I think what you actually have to do is, I think you have to actually shut it down with the power button, and I'm just use my virtual power button. I could test out an older game capable with Windows 2.0, but I don't know how easy it would be to load it on here. Okay, I'm disappointing. This actually still booted up. So let's delete some files I know messed up the system in the past. So let's delete the... Let's delete this. Okay, there we go. Let's delete the spooler. Let's delete the terminal. Can it run CSGO at 120 FPS? Probably not, dude. And which is better, Intel Core 2 Duo or Intel Core i7? Without a doubt, like, no question, Intel Core i7. Even the first gen should be better than probably any Core 2 Duo. And the modern day Kaby Lake ones are definitely better. So, whoops. Alright, let's delete this one. Guys, I'm thinking in the future, I sort of want to integrate, I was sort of want to show the chat in the actual video. I think I'm going to try that in future streams. I know how to, but it's unpredictable what goes in the chat section, so that's why I haven't done it yet. Alright. Reverse.exe, no idea what that is. Okay. Looks like I officially messed this up. Hang on. Cannot find Windows system. Please insert in drive A. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the virtual machine. And what do you mean, how can you edit live streams? Like, you can just move around the window in a live stream if you want, like in OBS. Watch this. See, I'm moving around the borders of this screen. Now I'm moving around this thing. Your parents won't let you upgrade your 10-year-old computer, Bingocat? Well, that kind of sucks, but at least you have a computer, I guess. I mean, I didn't even have a computer until I was 18. Believe it or not, like my own computer. And I can also add like additional screens inside OBS. So if we start up Windows 2.0, you know, since I'm not showing the chat on the screen though, whenever I respond to people, I'm trying to say their YouTube names, because I appreciate literally everyone that's watching this stream. All right, so it looks like we cannot boot into Windows 2.0. Unless, I don't know the command that actually start up MS-DOS Executive, but I assume if it didn't auto-boot to Windows 2.0, it's probably screwed. And yeah, and Ziggs Tech, I watch OS First Timer. And you're welcome, Twisty Tuesday. So yeah, Windows 2.0 is basically screwed. And if I want a working Windows 2.0, I'm going to have to download this hard disk file again, probably. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. By the way, if you look at the system specs for Windows 2.0, it has like 32 megabytes of memory and then 32 megabytes of video memory. I don't know the minimum specs to run Windows 2.0. Let's check it out. Hang on. The minimum specs for Windows 2.0. Okay, here's the, according to a random forum posting from 2009, this is the minimum specs for Windows 2.03. MS-DOS version 3, 2 double-sided disk drives or a hard disk, 512 kilobytes of memory, or a graphics card adapter. That is really low compared to today. Oh, you're right, Twisty. It is Vega reveal day. I saw Linus Tech Tips video of him unboxing the unboxing Vega and Threadripper in front of his LTX audience. I thought that was pretty neat. I heard that the stuff that's coming in about Vega so far hasn't been entirely good news, but I really need to look more into what Vega is, into the reviews about Vega. Now, I have a 1080 Ti, and I'm curious to see whether Vega performs better than that or not. I wasn't planning to upgrade my graphics card in a while. To be honest, it is definitely more than enough for my setup. It is pretty awesome. And, oh, in case you're wondering, for the film Avatar, they used a server farm of like 10,000 something computers to render the film. I wonder how many computers they would need to render the exact same movie today. Probably still thousands. Now, Windows 2.0 cannot run Crysis, I can tell you that. Now, the PC that I'm sitting on can run Crysis. I ran it yesterday, actually, and I was getting 91 FPS with settings maxed out on 1440p. Yeah. Uh, and I use Vegas Pro as my video editor. I want to switch to Premiere because videos just render so much faster, but I like the interface of Vegas Pro better than Adobe Premiere. I'm more used to it, to be honest with you guys. Let me check something. And if you're watching on a Pentium 3 Foxy by Day, that's actually really cool. I don't know how much capable Pentium 3 computer is in 2017. Well, I mean, you could actually run Windows 7 on a Pentium 3, couldn't you? You just need a lot more RAM. Because I watched a video back, God, this was 9 years ago now, of some guy running Windows Vista on a Pentium 3 computer, and it ran just fine. And so I'd assume Windows 7 probably wouldn't be a good performer, but it could probably run on there. Windows 10, on the other hand, cannot run on there at all. On Liam, if Core 2 Duos are actually based off of Pentium 3, I can believe that. Now, Pentium 4 processors, the thing about them was that the architecture was crap, from what I heard. They're focusing on getting the highest clock speeds possible that the chip would overheat, and they just weren't the best processors in the world, Pentium 4. So I'm kind of glad Core 2 Duos were actually good processors. How long have I been streaming? Oh, I've only been streaming for 36 minutes. Yeah, I miss Windows Aero, Zigstech. Aero, have you guys seen, what's it called? Windows, the next user interface for Windows 10, like Windows 10 Neon. I believe the transparency from Aero is actually making a comeback. From what I heard, at least. Like, here's some screenshots of what Windows 10 Project Neon could look like. You see, it's not entirely transparent, but it looks pretty neat. Oh, and this actually does kind of look transparent. It looks more like macOS Sierra, to be honest. Looks like Microsoft is just almost copying macOS Sierra, which, you know, the translucency effects which copied Windows Vista and Windows 7. It looks pretty neat, though. I like the way Project Neon looks. I don't know if these are actual images of what Neon's actually going to be like, but it looks pretty darn gorgeous. I kind of hope Project Neon actually comes to fruition. They're saying that it's not going to be there in the Fall Creators update, which kind of sucks. Now, yeah, it looks yeah, it does look pretty decent, in my opinion. Now, something I'm not a big fan of regarding user interfaces, though, is I'm not a big fan of the trend of hiding menu options behind buttons. You see, like on this picture, for example, the little hamburger menu here, that's what they call it. It hides all these options by default on like a 22-inch or larger monitor. That's kind of stupid. Because I have, what, a 24-inch monitor? And if I were to open up Groove Music, for example, it would still hide this menu by default, and I think that's kind of dumb. Wait, 7% of computers still use XP? That's dedication. Speaking of operating systems, let's take a look at the operating system market share. Because, alright, so Windows 7 is at 49%. You guys realize Windows 7 support ends in less than 2.5 years, so if we want to repeat having another Windows XP disaster, people got to get off of Windows 7, I guess. But it's not going to be as bad as the end of Windows XP, because at the end of Windows XP's life, a lot of people had they upgrade their hardware to get a supported operating systems. For Windows 7, all you have to do is run the Windows 10 upgrade utility, and that's it. You might have to pay $100 or more, but you won't have to get new hardware, and that's pretty cool. Like, I've seen videos of, well, in fact, I did a video on YouTube where I ran Windows 10 on a computer from 2005. And you can run Windows 10 on computers from as early as 2003, so... In 2020, if you have a computer from 2003, you might still be able to run the latest version of Windows 10 on it, and that's pretty cool. And Windows XP has a higher market share than Windows 8.1. That's interesting. Let's say there was 1 billion computers in the world, and there probably is about 1 billion or more computers in the world. You guys realize that if there was 1 billion computers in the world, there's 1 billion computers in the world, something along the lines of, would this be... Wait, let me think for a second. Yeah, this would be a huge percentage of computers, guys. Like, let's say you have 100 computers. It's like 7 out of 100 computers would still run Windows XP. And Windows 8, I don't know, it's kind of weird that Windows 8 is lower than Windows XP, but whatever. And Windows XP, guys, it's like 16 years old now. Mind you, I have nothing against you, by the way, if you choose to run Windows XP. But still, that's a huge percentage point. Like, you don't see those numbers for Windows Vista. In fact, Windows Vista isn't even in this pie chart. And you don't see that number for Windows 2000, which was also pretty heavily used and respected like Windows XP. Or Windows 98, for example, is still not on here, even though Windows 98 only came out 3 years before Windows XP. And yeah, crit kills. Yeah, let's hear a joke. Windows 8. Kind of. Windows 8 was a solid performing operating system. It's just the user interface wasn't that good. Now, if you take a look at the world's most popular operating systems here, like desktop operating systems, Windows 2000 is actually on here. That's pretty cool, but it's at a whopping 0.01% of computers worldwide. And then macOS 10.13. Oh, that's just the next version of macOS. And the oldest version of macOS is macOS 10.4 Tiger on here. Oh, Windows NT is still on here? Why is it at 0.41%? You'd think Windows 2000's market share would be higher than Windows NT's market share. That's actually kind of interesting. Windows NT is 21 years old. And then macOS 10.9, of course. And then Linux. I love it how they don't even list the different types of Linux distros. They just say Linux. And then macOS 10.12. But Windows XP, you know, I see Macs all the time, but Windows XP actually has a higher... which I see almost no XP computers nowadays in the wild. Windows XP has a higher market share than macOS 10.12. In fact, it might have a higher market share than all the other versions of macOS combined. And that's truly amazing. Yeah, I know NT is used in servers and backend applications, but you'd think they'd at least update to Windows 2000. Wow. XP is probably mostly overseas market share. Like the place I work at in real life, for example, we don't have any XP computers running anymore. We have like maybe I don't know how many computers, but still, we don't have any Windows XP computers running anymore. And yes, Foxy by day, let's hear a joke. You saw an NT4 9X at a Halloween store? Well, it depends how long ago that was, Mr. Gamerface. If this was like in 2007, that I would have been like, oh, that's probably normal even though Windows 98 is old. But nowadays I'd be like, oh my god, they're still using Windows 98. Dude, Jake, your computers at school still have XP? That's you see, your computer's still having Windows 7. That's not even that bad. Windows 7, at least it's supported. Windows 8, Windows XP, on the other hand, that's kind of out there. Yeah, I think my college is currently in the process of upgrading all of its computers to Windows 10. But last I checked, most computers there still run Windows 7, and the place I work at, we also run pretty much entirely Windows 7. And what schools will do when Windows 7 goes unsupported, yeah, they'll just either jump ship to Windows 10 or they'll just probably try and buy Chromebooks for students, I'm guessing. Yeah, like I know plenty of people. Well, I know some people who, yeah, like I know some kids whose schools just use Chromebooks and that's it. On your school has Mr. Gamerface. You saw the 95/NT machine last year? Wow. Well, I mean, hey, if the computer still works, so be it. But, you know, like if the computer, for example, keeps breaking down and they have to repair it, at a certain point it'd just be more, it would be better to just get a new computer. And Chromebooks, at least they give you Chromebooks. I mean, it's technically still a laptop, I guess. Like, if your school actually gives you Chromebooks to use throughout the school year, I think that's actually pretty cool. Like, now, for my college, on the other hand, they don't do any such thing. You have to definitely buy your own laptops. And so, I've showed this before, but this is my 2012 13-inch MacBook Air with a i5 processor, Ivy Bridge generation, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, nice and thin. The screen's 1440 by 900, which isn't that great, but it's doable and has a TN panel. And I bought this for my college and used it for my college. Now, I used this as my main computer for over a year, but I don't anymore. And yeah, I'm reading chat IDE serve. And then, now, my newer laptop, which I bought 2 months ago, I didn't really buy it to replace my MacBook. I sort of just bought it as another computer. I bought this to run more powerful applications on the go. And this, on the other hand, is a 4K display. It also costs a lot more money. Runs Windows 10, KB, and it runs Intel Core i7 7700 HQ Kaby Lake with 32 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage, and the screen's a touchscreen, and I freaking love this thing. Best laptop I've ever owned, but still not as powerful as my desktop, which is why I still have my desktop sitting right over there. And even though my i7 4790K and my desktop is 3 years old, the processor in this laptop, which was the top-of-the-line one that Dell sold for this laptop, is still not faster than my 4790K. But that's to be expected. You're comparing a desktop versus a laptop processor. In Ziggs Tech, if you're getting the Dell 8K monitor, that's awesome, but that's also $5,000. You know what you could do with $5,000 is I can buy 4 4K monitors, stack them up, like put put two of them next to each other, put two more above it, and I have my own little makeshift 8K monitor for a lot cheaper. You might have a big border, but, you know, it's still a lot cheaper than the cost. I mean, the cost for the Dell 8K monitor, you can get a car for that price. But if you guys if you'd want to actually get the 8K monitor, that's awesome. I think I'd love to at least see the Dell 8K monitor in person. And I ran Windows 2.0 Foxy by day. I finished. I'm not trying to clickbait anyone with the title. Let's just at least boot it back up. I spent like 30 minutes of the stream running Windows 2.0. The only reason I haven't ended this stream is because I like talking to you guys. And, oh, I forgot. Windows 2.0 is actually broken because I deleted system files, so now I can't boot into Windows 2.0. And homeschooled. Well, I'm technically... Dude, Ziggs Tech. Technically, I guess you could say, I take most of my classes for my college online, so I'm technically, I guess you could say, I'm homeschooling myself. But I do, this semester, I have 3 on-campus classes, and then I have a single online class, so I'm definitely going to be around my college a lot more often. I'm thinking of just moving to my college if I can't. You see, I'm living at home to save money, but if the drive gets too bad, I'll probably just move to my college. I think the 8K monitor would be better if it was bigger, like 40 plus inches. I think the 32 inches for a 8K monitor is kind of, sort of small. And thanks for being here, Corbin. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I always have fun on YouTube. And a Core i3-2365M, Blex, however you say that name, I'm sorry. That's Sandy Bridge, running at 1.4 gigahertz. Let's go ahead and, how much RAM do you have? That Domino Inge. And do you really have 8K? I don't think you do, that Domino Inge. Yeah, I do want to see that, no offense, that Domino Ing. Yeah, I do want to see that thing in person. Now, is there, let's hang on. Is there a large separation or even noticeable separation in quality between 4K and 5K? Probably not. Not really. You know, it gets to the point where you can't really distinguish individual pixels with the naked eye when you're looking, you know, at a display with such high resolution that it doesn't matter as much, even though people will swear they can see the difference. And honestly, I'm one of those people that swears that everything just feels sharper the higher the resolution is. Like, on my phone, I swear 1440p is a lot sharper than 1080p, even though you can't see the individual pixels if you look close up. And no one has 1,000 gigs of RAM unless you're like Linus Tech Tips. Or you're like some big business like Google. Like, what do you need 1,000 gigabytes of RAM for? Like, in the future, maybe that'll be standard on computers. Like, if AI becomes so advanced, and maybe it'll require a lot of system resources, and maybe it'll require 1,000 gigabytes of RAM, or maybe it'll just be a lot easier to fit 1,000 gigabytes of RAM into one spot. So if you wanted to render the sequel to James Cameron's Avatar, you could actually just do it on a normal, regular desktop. or something like that if computing power really does advance that much someday. Oh, and I don't have well, technically my laptop screen is 4K, Taylor York. I used to have a 4K monitor, but I returned it, but I want to get one again. However, if I wanted to keep 24-inch monitors, I'd want to wait until... They don't really have that many good 24-inch 4K monitors, at least anyone where the design is decent. You see, I've ranted on like Twitter that I think bezel-less displays, like obsessing over them is kind of stupid, but you see the problem with a lot of the current 4K 24-inch monitors is that there's that big, huge bezel where my 24-inch 1440p gaming monitor barely has any bezel at all. And so if I got a 4K 24-inch monitor, I'd want to get one with the least amount of bezel as possible. Or either that, or I can just upgrade to 27-inch monitors, which I looked at the other day, but that would cost me over $1,000, and I really don't want to pay that much just to get a 4K display and slightly bigger monitors. And I'm majoring in I'm getting a bachelor's in industrial technology, which mainly deals with the design of computer systems and networks for businesses and administrating these computer systems and networks. And also, I'm going to take quite a few security classes, which I haven't taken any of those yet, so that'll be interesting. Now, my computer, by the way, no, never mind, not my computer. My monitor, my left monitor, I have two monitors. My left one is a 1440p 144 hertz monitor, TN panel though, unfortunately. My right one is a 60 hertz 1440p IPS display, and I can't really get a good angle where I can actually show it with my webcam, but the picture quality is definitely better on my right monitor, but the refresh rate is definitely better on my left. Now, my left monitor looks better because, once again, the bezel-less border. My right monitor definitely has a noticeable bezel, unfortunately. My favorite operating system, I do like Windows 10, even with all the even though in Windows 10 they restrict your ability to truly control Windows updates, and plus, you know, the privacy concerns. Other than that, I like Windows 10 because it runs smoothly for the most part, and it can run pretty much, I believe, more programs than any other operating system. Windows 7 is also pretty solid, but Windows 7 doesn't support things like DirectX 12, or not that many games even use DirectX 12 yet. And it also doesn't have just, I know Windows 7 misses out on several other things like the newer task manager, just little tiny miscellaneous things like that. I do like Linux Mint. I think Linux Mint is a really nice operating system to use, but I like macOS Sierra. Like, I love that operating system. I wish Apple would let you just install macOS Sierra on any PC that you want, because I might consider running that over Windows, to be honest with you. And I just have 3 computers. Like, I have a MacBook Air, my Dell XPS 15, and my desktop. And then I have an iPad, but, you know, that's not what I consider a PC, really. I mean, it's a computer. It's technically a personal computer, but it's not what you'd think of regarding computers. And then, of course, I have my phone. Yeah, I could make a Hackintosh. And Windows XP was good for the time. It was definitely very good for the time. It used to be my favorite operating system back in like 2002 through 2006. Wow. I'm old. Except, no, not really. I'm really not that old at all. And then Vista got released, and even though Vista, you know, it had its stability issues and all that crap, I did like Windows Vista. I think it's a very underrated operating system. And, yeah, I know I strained for 1 hour IDD serve. I'm probably gonna end the stream kind of relatively soonish. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think Windows Vista was really underrated. Once, especially once they released Service Pack 1, it got so much better. And, you know, after Vista was out for a year or two, that gave the hardware enough time to catch up and be affordable, so you could definitely get a Windows Vista based computer for an affordable price. And after that, Vista wasn't that bad. Yeah, like AQW the Troop. Yeah, I remembered using dial-up modems too, where it wasn't a huge period of my life where we used dial-up at my house because I moved to this house in 2001, right? And very, very, very shortly after we moved here, we got broadband and we got Wi-Fi. So, but when we did have to use dial-up because my mom's computer, before we actually put a Wi-Fi card in there, we had to use dial-up if she wanted to access the internet, and that was so slow. I remember if you're trying to load a picture off of Google or something like that, or Yahoo or Alta Vista, for those of you guys who remember that search engine, it would take quite a long time. Oh, by the way, I have a Nexus 6P phone. Wouldn't mind getting the Pixel 2 if it's any good, but the more and more the information comes out about the Pixel 2, the more and more I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to try and ride this phone out another year. The Pixel 2, really, looking at the specs, is not much more powerful than the Nexus 6P, and the original Pixel wasn't that much more powerful than the Nexus 6P. The camera was better in the Pixel, but not by that much. And it looks like, I don't know, my Nexus 6P really is not, I really don't feel, I really don't feel like I need to upgrade. It's still plenty fast. It does everything I want it to do. It still runs every app. So I don't think I'm going to upgrade this phone this year, even though this model, the Nexus 6P line, is technically almost 2 years old. I'm going to hold off for another year, maybe. I don't know, phones just aren't as innovative anymore. You don't need to upgrade them anymore. Now, the only reason you really need to upgrade your phone is because eventually, OEMs are going to stop putting out software updates for your phone, which to me seems more like planned obsolescence instead of actually needing new hardware to run the operating systems. On the OnePlus 5 is cool, but I don't know. I wouldn't upgrade to that from the Nexus 6P. Now, I do like the idea of having 8 gigabytes of RAM in a phone, but other than that, that's it. That's the only thing that's appealing to me about the OnePlus 5 from my current phone. Look at Jerry Riggs' Everything review on the Nexus 6P. I think I will after this stream. Let me open it up in another browser tab so I actually remember. Oh, Nexus 6P bend test? Well, I've used this phone since October, and does this look bent to you? As long as you don't purposely try to bend your phone, right? It ain't gonna bend, okay? It's not gonna bend. And I don't put this in my back pocket, so no, there's no risk of it bending. I don't get why anyone would put their phone in their back pocket. Now, if you're a woman or a girl on the other hand, and your side pockets are too small, that I understand. But why don't they just make pants with bigger front pockets for girls anyways? Like, my mom wanted to get a phone small enough to fit in her front pocket, and the 4.7-inch iPhone actually was small enough to do that. Now, putting your wallet in your back pocket actually makes sense because the dimensions of your wallet are similar, like in men's pants, right? The dimensions of the wallet is typically the size of a back pocket. But your wallet, I'm not really as afraid of breaking anything in my wallet as much as I am breaking my phone. iPhone 6 is not that bad in 2017. Yeah, what's up, Scribble? I know you came to see Windows 2.0 probably. Dude, just if you wanna see Windows 2.0, just go ahead, go back to the beginning of the stream. Bam, you'll see Windows 2.0. Expectations on Nokia's return, the Power Slave. Well, actually, let's answer AQW the Troop. Let's look at him. Do phone specs matter anymore? Most phones do what consumers need just fine. What kind of tasks could you possibly do on your phone that will strain it with modern technology? Maybe if you want to run graphically intense games or something like that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I don't think phone specs have really mattered that much since starting in maybe 2013 or 2014, they started to matter less, in my personal opinion. OS first timer does not suck, in my opinion, Amar, a la Millie. Now, I could install Bunsy Buddy on a virtual machine, but not on Windows 2.0. And you could challenge me to run iOS on my PC, Amar, but that's impossible. And yeah, I like that too, Corbin. I like chatting with you guys on the stream. I think it's fun. I just like answering questions in general. And I don't... Oh, my desktop PC case, if that's what you mean, Ziggs Tech, it's a Roswell case. And yeah, I've gotten plenty of blue screens of death, Samuel White. In fact, I got one just 2 days ago on here. Now, because it's Windows 10, instead of providing you a full error log in front of you, they just provide you a single line with a short error code and then a frowny face. And if you scan the QR code on the blue screen of death, it'll just take you to a troubleshooting page. And what is this, Scrabble? It's me answering questions. In fact, I just answered your question, Scrabble. You're quite welcome. Oh, man. Yeah, no problem, Samuel White. I tried to respond to as many people as I can. Now, by the way, if you guys don't know, when I'm not streaming, trying to interact with me through the YouTube comment section probably is not the way to do so, because to be honest, I get too many comments, so I turn off the comment notifications. And plus, when there are like troll comments in your videos, it's not exactly, it doesn't really brighten my day if I'm like, if I'm at my job or I'm at my college, or I'm at my job and then I am like doing something or another, and then I get a notification on my phone and it says, "Oh, you're a piece of crap YouTuber. Why would I ever watch your video?" That really doesn't brighten my day. So that's why I don't have comment notifications turned on my phone. But if you guys want to interact with me outside of this stream, the best way to do it is either on my Discord or on my Twitter. You can... links to that are down below in the video description. And you can always private message me on there or public message me, either one, or you can also message me on Instagram, or just do whatever. Like, follow me on Twitter if you want to see what I post. Follow me on Instagram. Come join my Discord, because we do have fun in my Discord. We just talk about a lot of tech stuff, quite a little bit of game stuff. The people in my Discord are pretty nice, and um, and on my videos, I try to respond to comments, but then I just get busy with other stuff. And if I don't have comment notifications turned on, I just won't. I don't know. It's just like, it's like, I don't want to say I don't have time to respond to comments because I do, but I just forget to go and look at comments to respond to. And yes, Ziggs Tech, I will go check out your channel. On Quack the Gaming Boy, if you're still here, I'd said I'd check out your channel. I have that open in another tab to check out your channel once the stream is over. And MEMS can probably not run on Windows 2.0. Windows 8 is awesome. And I could probably bring back my old intro, AAR BLX. Now, the reason I don't have an intro is because I think intros are pointless. Like, this is, like, here's what Philip DeFranco thinks of intros, and I agree with him. People prefer if you just get to the content when you make a video, instead of even wasting 3 seconds with an intro. They prefer you just get straight to the content. And so I've been trying to do that for you guys. And thanks, Roman Polvoda, for saying sexy glasses, my boy. And for those of you who weren't here earlier, I don't need glasses. I have perfect vision, but these are just blue light reducing glasses. It's supposed to help you sleep. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go. Thank you guys for joining my live stream. I'll probably... I don't want to make a promise that I won't keep, so I'm not promising that I'll do another live stream this week, but I would really like to do another live stream this week, and maybe a regular video too. So yeah, see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Good night.